Welcome back to another mini tutorial with Marriner yarns. In today's tutorial we are thinking again all things Christmas. So we have kits and patterns for Christmas time available on our website. We'll leave a link in the description box below for you to go and check those out. But in this tutorial we're going to look at some techniques that we use within our Christmas patterns so that if you purchase the pattern you can go away and get started straight away being confident enough to know that you can follow the pattern. So I've got two colours of DK yarn with me today and a 4mm hook, colours red and green, which you can find on our website, and we will leave links in the description box below. In this tutorial we are going to go over how to change colours, so how to change your colour mid-row, at the end of a row, just so you can see how it's done, and like I said, take this technique away and use it in one of our patterns. So as you can see here, I've made up a little swatch of half double crochet and I'm ready to change colours now. So the imaginary pattern that I'm following tells me that I need to do one more stitch of green and then the rest of the row needs to be red. So I'm going to start my stitch as normal. So I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through, so I have 3 loops left on the hook. Now in a normal half double crochet we would yarn over and pull back through all of those loops, but as we want to change colour we're going to grab our new colour, which will be red, and we're actually going to hold it against our work, yarn over with our red and pull back through those 3 loops. The stitch doesn't look red, it still looks green, but when we go to crochet our next stitch we can do all the actions with the red and have a seamless colour change. I'm just going to do a few more for you so you're able to see. And on the back of my work I'm actually holding my tails. So my next row is going to be green, so I want to carry my green along this row instead of cutting off my yarn. I want to keep it attached to the ball and I want to carry it all the way to the end so that I can use it on my next row. So I am going to hold my red tail from my new yarn that I just joined and my green yarn that's still attached to the ball against my work, and when I put my hook through the stitch I'm going to crochet over those 2 ends in order to carry them to the end. For the tails this just is a more efficient way so you don't have to sew in ends at the end of your project, but if you prefer to sew in an end at the end of your project then you don't have to crochet over it, you can just leave it loose. So I'm going to crochet to the end of my row now in half double crochet, and when I get there I'm going to tell you how to change at the end of your row so you can start a new colour at the beginning of your next row. So I'm at the end of my row now and I'm ready to do my last stitch and change colour so I can work my next full row in green. As you can see, there are a lot of ends attached to the yarn, so just be really careful when you are crocheting to make sure that you're not crocheting in any ends that you shouldn't or getting yourself in a bit of a tangle. So in order to change colours at the end of our row, we still have our green attached to our work, we didn't cut it off when we changed colour. You're going to yarn over, because we're doing half double crochet, and insert into that last stitch if we can. Yarn over and pull through, and just like before, when we get to the stage where we have 3 loops on our hook and we are ready to do our final yarn over and pull through, we're going to grab our green yarn, drop our red yarn down, grab your green yarn and just pull back through with the colour you want to change to, and then you can chain 1 to start a new row and turn your work. And then you can create more half double crochets as you normally would in those spaces on the next row. This stitch here at the end, as you can see, I'm getting myself in a bit of a tangle, looks a bit, it can look a bit gappy, a bit big, but you can just pull on that end that's still attached to the ball just to make that stitch a bit shorter, a bit tighter, to make it blend in with your work better. And then if you aren't going to use red again, you can carry your red in the same way that we carried our green. We would just have to hold it up and across, rather than just going backwards and forwards, because we're not going back on the same row. So there we have it, the perfect Christmas crochet colour change. As you can see, we changed colours at the top of this row and it's a seamless colour change. There's no red showing on these stitches here, it's just on the stitches that it's meant to be red, and the same at the end. And like I said before, if this stitch on the end is looking a bit gappy or a bit taller than your other stitches, you can pull on that end to make the stitch tighter. Sit in line with your other stitches. Just make sure you don't pull it so tight that your work begins to warp. It can go a funny angle if you do, but it's quite easy to straighten back out. And then you can go ahead, sew in your ends and complete your project. Thank you so much for joining us on another Marriner tutorial. If you could hit the like button for me and the subscription bell if you'd like to hear more from us. Everything that you've seen in this video is linked in the description box below. We'll see you for the next one.